Good evening and welcome to the Candidate Forum for the Fremont City Council candidates, sponsored by the League of Women Voters and the American Association of University Women. There are 2 open seats for the City Council tonight. And my name is Kathy Steele-Sabo, and I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of Fremont, Newark, and Union City. And I will serve as your moderator for this forum. And first, a brief word about the League. The purpose of the League of Women Voters is to promote political responsibility through informed and active participation of citizens in government. The League is nonpartisan. The League does not support or oppose any political party or candidate. It is political in that we reach positions on selected governmental issues after member study and agreement and take action for positive change on those positions. So for the ground rules for tonight's forum. Questions from the audience will be collected and given to the question sorters, which are here to my left. And we will have, I can already see, a wide variety of questions. Due to time constraints, we may not be able to answer every question submitted. Each candidate will have 1.5 minutes to answer each question. Because there are 6 candidates, the format being allowed uses... The format we are using is will allow each candidate to answer 6 questions of their own choosing. The candidates will indicate the questions they want to answer by handing in a card. And so Marilyn is our card gatherer, so wave your card so she'll know. When a candidate has used up your 6 cards, you have completed all your responses. And our timekeeper, who is seated here in the front, will raise a 15-second card to warn the speaker when 15 seconds remain, and a stop card when your time is up. The speaker must immediately conclude upon seeing the stop card. We honor these time limits closely to ensure fairness for all the candidates. We will conclude at the end with a 1.5 minute closing statement by each candidate. And to the candidates, if you would like me to repeat a question, just ask. And also, please feel free that you do not have to use up the entire 1.5 minutes for each reply. We expect the audience to give each speaker an opportunity to be heard, so please hold your applause until the end of the evening. So now we all know the format, and let's meet our candidates. So in no particular order, on my sheet I have Vinnie Bacon and Sue Chan, John Dutra, Rick Jones, Rakesh Sharma, and Mark Wadley. All right, if you're ready, shall we begin?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the format, raise your card if you want to answer this question. What specific skills would you bring if elected to the council? Okay, we'll start with John Dutra.
Thank you. For the better part of the last 20 years or so, I've had the great opportunity to work with planning commissions and city councils, mayoral staff, planning departments, engineers from a variety of cities, including Fremont's, Union City's, Newark's, Hayward's, and Pleasanton. That experience level, combined with the time that I've served on the EDAC Commission, which I'm still on and have chaired since 2008, has been a great experience and an eye-opener for me. It's been a great benefit to understand how cities work and how they benefit businesses and communities in each of these different areas. Sitting on the EDAC Commission, I had the great opportunity to see why our businesses struggle or what their needs are to improve themselves. I also see what we need to do as a city to help encourage and foster growth in those businesses, as well as attracting new businesses. This becomes vitally important, obviously, when we're talking about our services, which is our police and our fire and the gang task force, for those of you who remember. It's important that we produce revenue in our city and have destination points. Bringing destination points to the city will help foster improvements in all of those areas. My experience level as a business owner here, our family has had a business since 1972. And I've been running that company since 2007. I've built and worked here in Fremont, and I've enjoyed a great education thereof. I hope to use that to the benefit in serving as your councilman. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Rick Jones.
Thank you. For almost 30 years, I served the city here as a police officer in Fremont. During that time, I had got to interact on a daily basis with the citizens and with the business owners, and I mean, from good to bad to everything in between. I also spent 9 years working at a high school, so I was surrounded by 2,200 teenagers every day. So I think my ability to relate to a wide variety of people is going to be an asset. I know a lot of people throughout the city. I know a lot of the business owners throughout the city. I've been out talking to the business owners and to the residents for what they feel is important for Fremont. And I forgot to mention, I was also a negotiator attached to the SWAT team for a lot of years. So I think I have a little bit of people skills involved there in trying to persuade people into getting them what we want them to do. And that is having people invest in our city, have companies come in here, have stores come in here, new businesses, and to attract the growth that we need to raise our economic base.
All right, thank you. Sue Chan?
Thank you. Well, I served 3 years on the Planning Commission, and I'm in my 4th year as your city council member. And that gives me a lot of experience as to know how city government works. And the other thing, too, is that I serve on a number of boards and commissions, both federally, state, regionally, and locally. And that gives me the opportunity to network with many, many different officials and agencies and bring together the story of Fremont. The other skills that I think I have are communication skills. I have a connection with our community as a mother, as a business person, and as an elected official. This is where I come from. This is my base, and I'm happy to say that it's been a real pleasure and honor to have been your council member. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark Wadley?
There we go. Thank you. Microphone problems. I'm a product of the schools in Fremont. I went to American High. I started at Ohlone in my college career, moving my way up before I got my MBA. What I can bring to the city is a strong business background that understands business. It understands how businesses interact and how people interact with those businesses. I have experience in high tech, which is what we are trying to bring into the city. I also have experience in healthcare, which is also very important to this city. I'm a Navy veteran, so I have leadership experience that I can bring to this council. And I also, I work as an operating room technician. And what that does is it gives me organizational skills. It allows me to work in a team. And I think that's one thing that I can bring to this council is the ability to teamwork with other agencies within the council, with the people, and be able to make the plans that are in place, make them happen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Vinny?
Thank you. Well, first of all, I have a master's degree in transportation engineering from UC Berkeley, as well as a master's degree in city planning from UC Berkeley. I've worked for several years as a transportation planner. I definitely understand the development approval process. I've worked with cities, I've worked with developers, I've presented in front of councils. I know how the process works. I also have 14 years of high-tech management experience. And I also serve on the Economic Development Advisory Commission, and just until recently, I was a member of the Alameda County Workforce Investment Board. Just as important as my professional experience, I have a proven track record of being a grassroots activist fighting for the interests of Fremont residents. I've stood there at that dais many times, insisting that council hear our concerns. I was a leader in the fight against excessive residential development at Patterson Ranch. I got involved with the effort to oppose the $200 million Route 84 extension in Brookvale. And I questioned whether a ballpark and over 3,000 homes was something that was really in Fremont's best interests. I'm currently a leader in the movement to prevent Caltrans from widening the roadway in Niles Canyons. And I was also active in the Save Kimber Park movement. In short, I have a proven track record of fighting for the interests of the residents of Fremont. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, Rakesh.
Thank you. I'm a local guy. Have been in Fremont for 25 years, and if you see, I call myself as a people's candidate. I have had honor of serving this community as a president of Niles Rotary Club, chair of Ohlone Bond Oversight Committee, Salvation Army board member, Indo-American Chamber of Commerce, Ohlone College Foundation board member, member trustees of American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, and did found a nonprofit organization right here in Fremont that has contributed almost close to $500,000 to this local community. So I am a very local guy. I'm the guy who has worked with many of you, if not all, in the audience and the people watching at home. I've served as a planning commissioner. If you look at that, I was for 80 years as a planning commissioner from 2002 to 2010. And as a planning commissioner, I participated in developing General Plan 2030, worked on affordable housing, worked on various projects that came through the Planning Commission, and we always protected the schools and whatnot. And I am just a local guy. One of the things that I'll bring is that I am not aligned to any special interest and or group. Therefore, it will not preclude me from voting on any issue that will come in front of the City Council.
Okay, thank you. So we have our next question. What do you envision for the development of the old NUMMI property, and what skills do you have to make the project a reality? So I see John, Sue.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, so John is going to start first. I saw his card come up first. What do you envision for the development of the old NUMMI property, and what skills do you have to make the project a reality?
Oh, gosh, this is something that I've been studying for almost 2+ years. Actually, I've spoken with almost every stakeholder there is or involved around the Warm Springs community. I've been to all the Warm Springs development meetings. I worked with the people that did the grant for the study of the Warm Springs development area. And I also saw the great study done by the Urban Land Institute for the space down at Warm Springs. I want to give compliments first to our current council and our staff, our city manager, for going back east. As many of you know, when that property became available, there were many bidders on that project, and it was lost out to Union Pacific. Now that's a federal agency and something that state or city cannot touch, and it was destined to become a railway yard until they stepped in and made some great moves. So we've got that UP's agreed to sell that land back out again. We've got 20 acres that have been sold on the southern portion, and we've got 100 acres of which will be sold on the northern side. In addition to those acreage, we have almost a total of 850 in total of that area that was going to be part of a redevelopment plan. But when redevelopment left, it became open again to discussions and plans on what we might do to the area. The Urban Land Institute's plan was unique and very enlightening in that they want to make this an iconic zone, something that's going to bring a destination point, whether it be a convention center, a high-tech campus, a beautiful downtown, transit-oriented development, and so forth, something that will bring revenue here to the city to help support the police and the fire and the services that we need. I think it's a great study. I encourage you to look at that online. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sue?
The Warm Springs area is going to be one of the most exciting things that is going to happen to Fremont in a very, very long time. We have over 800 acres that is just pristine, waiting for it to be developed. As John mentioned, UP bought the land and was planning to do a rail yard. I, as vice mayor, led a delegation to Omaha, Nebraska 2 years ago to talk about that and to convince them that a rail yard is not in the best interest of Fremont. So that's one thing that happened there. We studied the area with the EDA grant, and we have a plan that last week I went, along with the mayor and the staff delegation, to Washington, D.C. to try and secure funding to actually make this project begin. And that is we went to the Department of Commerce, the Department of Labor, and Senator Feinstein, Senator Boxer, Congressman Honda, the White House Commission, and we talked about this plan, and people are very, very interested in it. And so now what we have to do is find the funding in order for this to begin. And so I think that my involvement in this project has been very, very instrumental, and we look forward to really developing this and make this a 21st century job center, transit-oriented development with, thank you.
Thank you. Vinny?
Thank you. Well, when NUMMI first closed, I argued that we lost manufacturing jobs, and first and foremost, we need to restore manufacturing jobs. Our city council had a number of other ideas. Of course, none of those came to fruition. The federal government gave us $330,000 to study the area. And when the results of that study were presented to the council, our Argus reporter, Matt Artz, had the following to say. But it was pretty clear on Monday that things have changed. The consultants and city staff members kept talking about jobs and industry. It was as if Vinnie Bacon had inserted chips into their brains. Midway through the presentation, I half expected one of them to start barking, "Bacon, bacon, bacon." Now, this shows, in a rather humorous way, that I was the one, not the current city council, that agreed with the recommendation of the experts on what would be the best use of the land near the future Warm Springs BART station. As far as my skills that I bring to the table, I've actually studied transit-oriented demand in college. One of the projects we worked on was actually going to the new Pleasanton station and trying to figure out what kind of design would work there. I understand the transportation elements and what kind of design is needed near a BART station. I also served on the Workforce Investment Board, where one of our tasks was trying to figure out what kind of new manufacturing is going to be involved, because clearly the old school auto manufacturing is just not going to be around anymore. We need to look at newer alternatives. Also, as part of the Sierra Club, I've done a lot of work on alternative energy and what kinds of firms are most likely to succeed. And thank you.
Thank you. Okay, here's your next question. Given the diverse communities in Fremont, what would you do to create a thriving downtown? Looks like I have... Oh, okay. Sue, are you ready to start?
Okay, this past Tuesday, City Council passed the Downtown Concept Plan. So we do have a plan. And I would say that if you have not had an opportunity to take a look at it, I think when you look at it, you'll be definitely very, very pleased. There have been plans in the past, and I think that if we ask why weren't those implemented, you might have to ask the previous council members. But I can tell you that we are moving forward. It's going to be a vibrant civic center, a community gathering place where people can come and enjoy the amenities. We're hoping to consolidate and build a really nice city hall and perhaps also a cultural arts center with public parks, civic parks, and public art. And so it's something that's really going to put the there into Fremont, a place where we can all gather and have nice amenities, nice places to eat, nice places to shop, and to bring our kids and enjoy the Fremont that we haven't had before. And what's also exciting is that it will bring people here, and that will also bring the interest to our historic cities. So I see it as a hub with all the historic cities, districts that we are going to benefit. And so I'm looking very forward to implementing that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Mark?
I looked at the plan for downtown and saw that the development of business and housing and possibly a cultural arts center. And I like the way that they have it set up. What I would like to bring in is maybe a hotel to make it a destination spot, work on what strategic businesses to bring into this to help bring people into the downtown area. The plan also talks about expanding on Capitol Avenue to make it a central street through there by City Hall, and with putting the right kind of businesses there, we can draw people into the city, and this would actually bring in more money and resources to allow us to expand out and work on the other districts, and also work in the Warm Springs area and develop even further. Thank you.
Thank you. Rick?
I think downtown, the plan that we have now is beautiful. The plan to open up Capitol Avenue so it goes all the way from BART. Basically, you can come off the BART station, look all the way down the street to the Hub Shopping Center. It's going to give us a place where people are going to come and gather. As far as bringing diversity into Fremont, we have a very diverse population here in Fremont. And one of the things that we could probably concentrate on is to create like an international row of restaurants. Give the opportunity for different types of cultures to come in and bring in their own styles of food, their own styles of cooking, and allow people to experience all of those different cultures. And we're going to have the Cultural Arts Center, which is going to have people coming in, and it's going to draw a lot of people to the city. And as has been mentioned by some of the other folks, that is going to allow us also to promote our historic districts. People come in to visit downtown. However, they're going to be looking at opportunities to go to our other districts as well. So it's going to bring all of our various areas of the city a lot more business and a lot more revenue, hopefully.
Okay, Rakesh and then Vinny.
I'm going to ask you to repeat a question because I've been.
Given the diverse communities that form Fremont, what would you do to create a thriving downtown?
Just on record, let me tell you, I've been listening about this downtown as long as I've been in Fremont, so I am not in support of the type of downtown that they're thinking because it's too expensive. It's just not going to happen. And I know now they've been saying that we don't want Santana Row, but we want something in between. But if you look, the amount of money, I don't know if they have talked to the business people. Are they willing to locate on a daddy street that goes right now nowhere? There are properties around here that are just not empty. If I have to have a downtown, I'll say, well, you got Block, you got Pacific Common, start to create a destination around that. It's feasible to do it. You can make it happen. And then whatever exists around Warm Springs BART station that we're thinking in next 15 to 25 years is exactly exist around here. We're close to BART, we're close to Park, we're close to Hub. Let's use it as a mixed use and start developing it. I would concentrate, make some other destination places in Fremont.